Still working on the championship game, Chiefs versus Ravens. I'm switching gears over to offense. I'll get back to the defense. Just got a little burnt in watching that. We're just looking at the very first drive. Ravens open up in 12 personnel with Lamar under center. End up shifting both tight ends. First play is outside zone strong. I'm not sure how much outside zone the Ravens ran last year. I'd be curious to know the amount or the percentage of times the Ravens ran outside zone. Several of these assignments are just not executed very well. I do understand that at times it just comes down to getting beat. You certainly do see that here. I don't like the job that Ronnie does, although it doesn't appear to influence the play. His job is to cut 95 off on the backside. I think he's pretty lackadaisical about this. There's really no cutback as a result. The left guard is equally poor, in my opinion. I'm not sure why he's going over to get this guy shaded on Linderbaum here and actually puts a hand on him. He's got to get out, reach this backside linebacker. We end up seeing the left guard stop his feet to engage, who ends up making the tackle. This DN does a good job with Ricard in terms of getting out, setting the edge, keeping that outside arm free, forcing the cutback. And then Zeitler gives up his chest here, really gets dominated. I think Hill makes a nice read, and if Simpson can get any part of this backside linebacker, as Linderbaum's doing a pretty nice job on his guy, you might see a bigger gain here. As I said, sometimes it just comes down to the defense making a play. Still on the first play, as I pick this up, Ricard is already shifted left side to right side. 80's going to follow him. Watch the dramatic shift by the Chiefs defense. I wonder if the Ravens went back to this formation and these shifts. Perhaps there's opportunity for a quarterback keeper here. And perhaps if Lamar didn't like what he saw out here, there's opportunity for a double move to this side. Just haven't watched enough of the game to see if the Ravens even went back to this formation. Second and 9, Ravens in 11 personnel in the process of shifting Isaiah Likely left to right into the boundary. Ravens have a 2-receiver stack with Zay Flowers outside. They're going to motion him to the field. This is your modern day triple option. Lamar is going to read the D end and decide whether or not he's giving the ball off to Justice Hill or shooting it out on the screen to Zay Flowers, or decide to keep it outside. Off the ball as the D end crashes, Lamar pulls the ball and keeps it, then looks to hit the screen. Does not like what he sees. He's going to pull it down, take off, and run. As I watch this, I think there were some puzzling choices running the football made by Lamar during this game. This may be, if I can jump out on a limb, this game certainly, in my opinion, is a contributing factor to him deciding to lose weight or streamline, however you want to put that. I have no idea why he decides to cut this football inside. Lamar's definitely going to outrun this guy. A couple years ago, he is definitely outrunning the angle here. Whether or not this guy's able to get off the block, you still see the receiver kind of working enough to hold him up. Lamar should be able to win this outside, and you see Likely bearing down on the safety. And if Lamar could have hit that sideline, he's gone. Of course, you have to do the obvious things in order to beat the Chiefs. You can't turn the football over, but they are so formidable. You have to do all the little things right. And I question this decision to cut this football back inside. This is the failed third down conversion. I think it's 3rd down and 7. Chiefs are going to send 6. Quarterback gets the ball out quickly and on the money. We'll look at it from the other angle. In terms of the routes, you get some space created inside by motioning Zay. To me, you almost get a drive concept here. This is more of a 5-yard in or a rounded in than it is a slant. I suppose it depends on what your read is or what your progression is. I think they could do a lot more in terms of some kind of rub to get one of these receivers open underneath here. We mentioned doing the little things or all the little things right. Lamar cutting that football outside to pick up even just a few extra yards. Certainly, you can't drop anything. You have to be perfect. Unfortunately, the Chiefs are that team. We'll look at a still image of this play so you can see the ball placement is perfect. I do think he's short of the first down even if he catches this by a yard. Ball kind of squeezes out of his hands. Watch it again. This is the start of the Ravens' second drive, ultimately culminating in a touchdown. Ravens are going to run a spacing concept over the ball for Mark. Number 1, boundary to field on the swing. And Bateman's going to run a curl. Quarterback's progression out of this concept typically goes as follows. Ball route, curl, and third in the progression would be the swing. Slightly different grouping or alignment, but the same play. This time the number 2 receiver, boundary to field here in motion, runs the swing. Bateman again runs the curl. Mark was in line before. This time he's in the slot, but he runs this ball route. The previous play, the Chiefs rushed a 5th rusher, and this time you see Hill leak out. This time Mark is not nearly as open, but the ball comes out. It is thrown inside, but it's a 9-yard pickup. After getting stuffed on 3rd down and 1, the Ravens break the huddle, rush heavy to the line. You can see the Chiefs are a little bit scurried around here. Really nice blocks up front. Charlie on the outside bluffs the end man here. Holds him up just a little bit for Pat, who gets on the end man's inside shoulder and moves him out. Charlie comes off that bluff. Little inside seal and then gets on the second level. To the right side of the line, outside of Morgan Moses, the Ravens have Stanley and Ben Cleveland along with Charlie Kolar. Everybody knows Lamar's getting the football here. The left guard pulls. Ravens are running power straight at him. Nice block by the left guard. Ben Cleveland blocking down. You can see Kolar on the second level. We can see Pat coming off his block with his hand in the air. He thinks it's a wrap. Right there. Lamar's gone. I'm not sure what's going on with Lamar on this. He just doesn't have a burst. I don't know if he's hurt. He looks like he's going to take this outside, run it down the sideline, run away from the defender. And he stops and tries these stiff arms. He's carrying the ball loosely. Does not look to have that breakaway speed. He does, however, do a great job being patient, following and setting up these blocks. Just like we saw earlier in the drive, the Ravens run the same play back to back. This time they've returned Stanley to his left tackle spot. They're in 21 personnel. Lamar's under center. It's interesting. You do see him make a check at the line here. He has the ability to change protections, change the play, change the routes, even change the direction of the run. I want to point out what a great job Charlie Kolar does here on 2 back-to-back plays. Down blocks, gets movement, and then a great job picking up the weak linebacker and sealing him out of the play. Again, we see Pat as the sniffer and the kick out. They're pulling the left guard through. And the offensive line doing a great job opening up a big hole for Gus to get through here. This is the touchdown to Zay Flowers. Ultimately, it's a great escape, a good find by Lamar. Great play by Zay Flowers. I understand what they're trying to do here with this scissor to the post in the corner. I think there would be a higher likelihood of one of these routes coming open if there were something to hold coverage underneath here. Kansas City has brought 5. Gus has been left in to protect and doesn't do a particularly good job. In a perfect world, Lamar finds Zay on first down right here. Pretty good chance this picks up another first down at least for the Ravens. Of course, the end result is something spectacular and better than a first down, but this could just as easily have been a sack or a sack fumble.